A Canadian woman has been killed after a gunman opened fire at one of Mexico's most important tourist destinations. 6 others were wounded at the historic site an hour north of the capital. Well, for more, let's cross live to our correspondent, Ioan Grillo. Ioan, what more do we know about what exactly happened here? Take us through what's known at this stage.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's still very early days. This only happened about 3 hours ago, about 12:30 Mexico City time, and we haven't really. Right now, we still have the forensic team taking bullets from the site, seeing the victims, but it seemed to be one lone shooter who went up. This is a very, very popular tourist destination, a kind of must go to for anybody visiting Mexico City. Very, very impressive pyramids. And the highest point, the Moon Pyramid, it seemed the gunman, a lone gunman, it seemed, went up there and started firing, killing this Canadian woman, wounding others. And then it's unclear if he took his own life or was shot dead, and exactly what kind of caliber weapon he had. Now, although Mexico is very famous or infamous for cartel violence, this seems to be something very unrelated from what we can understand so far. Though there's a certain speculation here. It looks more like, this hasn't been confirmed officially, but just saying the first appearances, it looks more like some kind of lone madman even, or somebody going up and starting firing. Why would they do that? And this hits Mexico's tourist image very hard, which is very sensitive to Mexico right now, and to President Claudia Sheinbaum, as the World Cup is due to be played here, with the opening of the World Cup in Mexico City in some 6 weeks' time. So President Claudia Sheinbaum has already sent a message, saying they feel very, putting out condolences to the victim and trying to assure that security is being met. But it's a big shock, and we have to see what more we can find out about what the motivation was for this person.
And the tragedy unfolding, as you say, one of the most visited tourist sites in Mexico. Do you think people will be concerned then? We're so close to the World Cup, you referred to it there. Or is Mexico quite a safe destination for people who are hoping to travel there, despite the kind of violence that we've seen over the last few months?
I think it adds to people's concerns. Mexico is a very popular tourist destination, and many millions of tourists come to Mexico, including to Mexico City, which has a murder rate comparable to many US cities, and also going to the tourist resorts in Mexico and places like Cancun, Los Cabos, which are generally safe. But then Mexico does have some very intense cartel violence and problems in many parts of the country. And so people are making these considerations. This, will add into them, people who might be on the borderline edge, and then suddenly feeling a shooting at the pyramids. Certainly will upset people and could affect decisions. Although, still Mexico City is still a relatively okay place to visit as far as Mexico is concerned. And we hope this is just a one freak incident, and more things like this don't occur.
Ioan, thanks so much for all of that. That's our correspondent in Mexico City, Ioan Grillo.